Welcome back to Stationeers. This is episode 3, covering day 2. So first, we are working here to get our oxygen tank refilled, as we are getting a little low. As you can see, we're about 63% to critical in the top right corner there. I'm going to go ahead and place the canister storage here. This is going to let us put gas into this pipe network and then put the canister into that to equalize out the pressure, which will in turn increase our pressure. And you can see our air is a little polluted though, so we may just have to go with a little pollution in our air for right now, so we do need air to continue doing other things. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let some oxide melt here so to increase the oxygen content. Closing the helmet so we can start depressurizing the air into the pipe network. And it quickly pulls these 2 squares worth of air into it. I'm pretty up there in pressure. This is going to be too high for canister though, so I'm gonna have to undo a little bit of that, see if we can bring down the pressure. Canisters have a maximum around 10 megapascals. I gotta equalize it out to when we put it in there it doesn't blow up the canister. So we're about 16 megapascals now. It's a little better. That's going to produce about 4 megapascals. So at least we have breathable air and enough now. Let's see if I can get a little more in here. I'll crank it up to almost 6 megapascals, so we're sitting a little better now. Go ahead and pull the rest of the air out so we can open the door. Got some work to do outside. So there we go. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start adding an extra tank to help with the pressure. Add a storage tank here to alleviate some pressure.
Oxygen low.
My oxygen is low. Appears I don't have a nitrogen filter. So I'm gonna have to make one real quick here. We're now in crisis panic mode. Need to make nitrogen filter before we pass out. Accidentally made 2 of them. I'll go ahead and throw that in here. And at this point is when I go to put these in here, I realize I actually already made one. So it doesn't hurt to have a few extras of those though. We will go through them. Back to this pipe. So we've got the storage put on there, and that looks like it dropped it down to about 9 megapascals. So the volume is still there, but now that there's more volume of storage, it's less pressure, right? So that will help that pipe not be so strained. So now we're looking pretty good on this pipe network. However, we do still have pollutants in our air, so I think I'm going to go ahead and purge this. And then we need to do some battery management, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the solar panel around. Got to get it facing the sun again. Throw some batteries in here to charge. And do a little bit of adjustments. We want to try to capture the rest of the day's sun heat. Left that on, let's turn that off. Just getting the solar panel adjusted to capture some sunlight and recharge some batteries. I'm going to have to go on a quick mining run to grab some oxite. I'm going to make a pollutant filter just as a backup. We get pollutants in our air. This is easy to throw into the filters in our suit real quick. another quick adjustment here to increase the efficiency of this panel. Need to maximize that sun before it goes down. So we're just kind of doing some battery management. Sometimes you just have to do that. Get your batteries charged up. I'm going to go ahead and do a mining trip while we're capturing the rest of that sunlight. So let's speed up through this ×3. Just coming out, grabbing some quick oxite so we have some to create some air in our base there. And go ahead and put our batteries back in our tools.
Hydration critical.
And we're getting closer to having a thirst issue. I'm going to go ahead and make a light for inside. Use it a later time. The light will actually save us some battery power on our suit, so we can just use the base's power to light up the area. I'm going to quickly make all the pieces I need to expand the base, starting with some iron walls. So speed up some of this tedious production stuff I'm doing here. So creating some iron sheets to go into those iron walls. Need about 12 of each here to create a 2x3 area. A couple of glass sheets. I do want to make at least one window in this thing. Go ahead and put these in here. Power's critical. We need to do some battery switching and pull from a drill. We shouldn't need that anytime soon. We'll need our grinder here soon, so don't want to take that battery out. But to start, let's go ahead and start pulling the iron sheets out of these frames here. And then use that grinder to take the frames out. And basically just taking these frames out, I'm going to drop them down one space, and then we'll put some walls in place around them, and we'll expand our 1x2 base out to a 2x3, giving us about triple the volume we had before to work with. And in the beginning, when you're starting out, it's good to start small, and as you get systems in place that help you survive, you can slowly expand and build upon what you already have. That's kind of what we're doing here. We've got our oxygen situated, so let's give us some more room to work with the other systems we need. Alright, those are welded up. So now we can go ahead and grab our walls. I need these walls. Now I'm going to place these actually on the outside turned around. This lets you work on the wiring and plumbing without not being able to see it. You can work on it from the inside and see what you're doing. If you were to place them on the inside, your plumbing and wiring would be on the outside, so you'd have to go outside of your base to be able to work on it. I always recommend building on the outside like this. It does still have its airtightness to it, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, and now we're starving of thirst. So things are getting more critical to get this finished up. Let's grab some sheets, start filling in these sheets here. Getting everything built so we have an enclosed space. Let's go ahead and throw this glass sheet in here so we have our window. We'll get to see the sunset with that window, so it'd be nice to see that. And let's pull this crate inside. Glitched out a little bit there, but get this inside for right now. Happened to get a storm, we don't want that to blow away. It's got stuff we need in it. Alright, close the door. Nothing in these. Can go ahead and start melting the ice. However, we have a vacuum. So we got to create a vacuum first. So let's set this inward, flip this on. We're going to create a vacuum. Unfortunately, by doing this, we get rid of the pollution. However, we cannot melt our ice now. It is too cold. So we're going to have to go ahead and build our ice crusher here. So I just got to move a few things. Make some space for this ice crusher. I'm going to go ahead and place it right here. Which we're going to have to wire it up. So I'll go ahead and place some wiring here.
Power critical.
Power's getting low. See if I can get this done quickly. Alright, weld that up, which now we've introduced hot gas air, so we're gonna have to vacuum that out. So back to a vacuum. Still a little hot in here from the welder. Anytime you're doing welder with the gas welder, it introduces that hot waste gas. So, alright, so we got that built. Now we just need to throw a pipe on the back of this so it's connected to our pipe network. Okay, get the right angle on this. There we go. Alright, so now that's connected. So we've got vacuum. We can go ahead and start putting ice into the ice crusher, which is then going to turn it into oxygen nitrogen mix. And you'll see I show that with the tablet. We'll have a nitrogen oxygen mixture with no pollutants or CO2. So then that we can actually melt this ice and then slowly pump it into the room to create the pressure that we need, that we're looking for. We need to get right there above about 20 kPa so that we can open our helmet safely and take a drink. So you see we got oxygen, nitrogen. Now it's just a matter of getting enough ice melted so we can pressurize the room. That is set to outward. Let's start pumping the air out. And this will let us get a little bit closer to being able to open our helmet safely and take a sip of water. Oxygen and nitrogen only, no pollution.
Health low.
Looks like we're getting really close to getting our 20 kPa or higher. Taking a sip of water is going to be the conclusion of this episode. Thank you so much for joining and watching, and I'll see you in the next one.